Even should the hostile force cling to its reign, now he is not ruling out completely the presence of the hostile force because the inconscience is there. While the race, human race, the Superman race, or higher race is there, but at the back, at the basis, there is that thing also. It can spring up, you see. Even should a hostile force cling to its reign and claim its rights, perpetual sovereignty, and man refuse his high spiritual fate, yet shall the secret truth in things prevail. That shall always happen. The secret truth in things prevail. The truth which is there in the hostile force, the divine truth which is there behind the hostile force, it is that which will reveal. It is there for not, it is not there for nothing. The purpose of it will be fully revealed. The truth which is there behind its hostility, behind its presence, it is that which will be revealed. Why there is death? The purpose of death will be revealed. Why there is ignorance? The purpose of ignorance will be revealed. Pain, suffering, falsehood, all those things will be revealed. Even should a hostile, even should a hostile force cling to its reign and claim its rights, perpetual sovereignty, and man refuse his high spiritual fate, yet shall the secret truth in things prevail. For in a march of all fulfilling time, the hour must come to the transcendent's will. All turns and winds towards his predestined end in nature's fixed inevitable course, decreed since the beginning of the world. Decreed since the beginning of the world. This is why the whole process has started. The fact that there is evolution, the fact that there is evolution, it means that in the whole sequence, it is decreed that there will be a divine manifestation. We are gone like this, whatever it is. But behind that thing is the purpose of the divine manifestation to come out. Decreed since the beginning of the world in the deep essence of created thing. So in everybody's bosom, in the depths of his soul, there is the divine truth which is trying to come out and express itself. It is that which will be revealed always. The tiger, the divine, in the tiger has to come out in the tigerness of divine, of man, of animal, of diamond, of jewels, of whatever it is, of stars, of night, of pain. In the deep essence of created thing, even there shall come as a high crown of all the end of death, the death of ignorance, the end of death. The moment you have got the end of death, obviously along with that, there is the death of ignorance. The moment death disappears, then there is no more ignorance. Even there shall come as high a crown of all. This is the high crown of all, the end of death. That is the high crown of all. The end of death. The moment death disappears, falsehood disappears. As long as there is death, there will be falsehood. In other words, there will be no truth. So the end of death means the disappearance of falsehood, of pain, of suffering, of ignorance. So this is, in fact, the end of death. The moment you say the end of death, this part is superfluous. It is understood. The moment the death ends, there is no more ignorance.
But is this then only for the few which are on that plane, on that height, or is it for all Earth?
For all.
For all.
For all who are ready.
Yeah, who are ready. But there may be many people who are not ready, and then for them, ignorance.
It will have its own function, its own purpose. Yeah.
So it means that ignorance is still there.
Yeah,
for some who are there, ignorance does not exist. They're not living ignorance.
See, it means that they are still subject to that process of evolutionary growth.
Yeah, so it will all exist simultaneously.
No, there's, see, in the march of all fulfilling time. So, in the process of time, if you're not ready, you have to undergo through that process. But those who are ready, for them there is no death at all, there is no ignorance, you see.
That's right, but for many others, who are not
They
ready,
have to undergo through the whole process of
but
evolution.
it will take millions of years.
See, at that time, what is going to happen is, suppose you are ready, you have become a supramental being. Now, what happens to me? I am not a supramental being still. But then you can help me. You can help me to lift up. I am trying. Your own way of doing things could be such that I derive help from you. In a very crude way of saying, there is an urge to grow everywhere, but it is not coming out fully. You have a pet. When the pet comes in contact with the human being, a true human being, what does it gain? The psychic touch starts coming out from the pet itself. Its response becomes more and more psychic. It is indirectly getting help from man. You see. So you can become a pet to the Superman.
Yeah, okay, but then the pet may evolve, but then there will be more animals.
But then in that process, what happens? The next birth, you jump over and go to the higher level.
Okay, that's right, but we don't abolish that part of evolution. There will always be animals. There will always be mankind. So there will always be ignorance. There will always be falsehood and death in that layer.
You see, what you have in the beginning, Seven were described in certain details, those things. What you will have in the beginning will be pockets, colonies of this kind of beings.
Yes, that I fully understand,
Yeah.
exactly. But then,
No.
as such,
But then it is in the process of growth, things will happen. If they are required, if they are open to it, if it is necessary for them to continue, they will be retained. Otherwise, it will get dissolved, it will disappear.
yeah, but animals also have to die.
It will
Animals are
disappear.
not there for eternity.
If-
They cannot live immortally. Animals are not meant to be immortal.
How do you say that?
Exactly.
No, you see, if their psychic being can come out by contact with you,
No.
then they are growing.
Yes.
That is the purpose.
That's fine, but still animals will be there. Otherwise, we have no animals. Because an animal cannot live immortally.
Yeah, but then you see, because this is in the process of time, in the march of time, this is happening. Now, when the supramental beings have formed a kind of a colony here, then by contagion, by their influence, by their presence, it can spread and grow around. You see, it can quicken the process also. It can quicken the process also, you see. Those who cannot grow, who will not grow, then they will disappear, as the dinosaurs disappeared.
But then what happens to, let's say, animals?
They will disappear.
Animals disappear. No
Yeah.
more animals.
Dinosaurs, they have disappeared. All those old creatures have disappeared. They are not anymore required for the process of evolution, so they have stepped out. They are gone, disappeared.
So no more animals.
Yeah.
Oh. No more dogs and horses. No more peacocks.
Well, you see, it's not all that hopeless. It's not all that hopeless. Basically, what it means is that there is a possibility of your opening. There is a constant urge within you that is very weak. That weakness will be to some extent reduced, redeemed by the presence of the superior being here. By his influence, by his activities here, it will be reduced to some extent. You see. Like the help the young child gets from the elders. He grows because of them, you see. In a way you are saying. But the end of death for whom? Those who are ready.
Not the end of death
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah. They will disappear. What is not required, that will disappear. Yeah. But here the whole process is, you see, when the mental being has appeared on the evolutionary scene, it does not mean that the vital being has disappeared. It does not mean that the physical being has disappeared. By his appearance, they have also changed. They have also grown. The same thing will happen in the other case. If for the process of evolution a supporting evolutionary base is required, they will be retained and lifted up. The end of death, the death of ignorance. For this high change, the end of death, for this high change. See, we have seen earlier, Savitri is confronting death. And she says, "Hail to thee, death. Be still my instrument. I need you be present there. I still need you." This is what she was saying to him. But first, high truth must set her feet on a. For the end of death, what is required is truth must set her feet on earth. The divine truth. And man aspire to the eternal light. See, this is required. Man aspire to the eternal light, and all his members feel the Spirit's touch, and all his life obey an inner force. So there is a desideratum, there is a condition. You see. This too shall be, but then there is an assurance. Yes, man will aspire. This too shall be, for a new life shall come, a body of the superconscious truth, a native field supernature's might. It shall make us nation ground, truth's colony. You see, he uses the word colony. There you are. You see, truth's colony. It shall make us nation ground, truth's colony. A pocket is required, you see. Make even the ignorance a transparent robe through which shall shine the brilliant limbs of truth, and truth shall be a sun on nature's head, and truth shall be the guide of nature's step, and truth shall gaze out of the nether deeps. This too shall be, that is required. If man aspires to eternal light, his members feel Spirit's touch, his life obeys the inner force. This too shall be because of all this. When Superman is born, so at that point, there is the hope of the Superman being born. When Superman is born as nature's king, his presence shall transfigure matter's world. He shall light up to fire in nature's night. He shall lay upon earth truth's greater law. Man too shall turn to the Spirit's call. See, there you are. When Superman is born, man too shall turn toward the Spirit's call. That is the help he is giving you directly, you see. When Superman is born as nature's king, man too shall turn toward the Spirit's call. Awake to his hidden possibility, he is man's. Awake to his hidden possibility, awake to all that slept within his heart, and all that nature meant when earth was formed, and the Spirit made this ignorant world his home. He shall aspire to truth and God and bliss. He shall aspire to truth and God and bliss. So that is a great hope for man. This is a great hope for man when Superman is born. He shall aspire to truth and God and bliss. Interpreter of a diviner law, an instrument of supreme design, the higher kind shall lean to lift up man. So this is the role which is played by the higher kind, by Superman. He is the interpreter of a diviner law, the instrument of a supreme design. He shall lean to lift up man. So there is a kind of a double play of Superman trying to lift him up, of man aspiring beyond what he is. Man shall desire to climb to his own heights. The truth above shall wake in neither truth. So that is the summary of the whole thing. When Superman is born, the truth above shall wake in neither truth. Even the dumb earth becomes the sentient force. So there is a great hope. So first thing is establish the colony of the Superman.
Even all
Yeah. Even the dumb earth becomes the sentient force. The spirit stops and nature's base shall draw near to the secret of their separate birth and know each other as one deity. So spirit and nature, which are of different nature, they will know the kind of a mutuality which is there between them. The spirit stops and nature's base shall draw near to the secret of the separate truth. They are separate truth. The truth to grow, that is nature. Truth to manifest, that is the spirit. And know each other as one deity. The spirit shall look out through matter's gaze, and matter shall reveal the spirit's face. So that's the completion of the whole story, you see. Then man and Superman shall be at one. So Superman should appear. Our hope, therefore, lies in the appearance of the Superman. It is he who will lift us up. Of course, meanwhile, we have to pray, we have to invoke the presence and all that. We have to aspire, that is required. That is but our hope is in the arrival of the Superman, you see, in that sense. If we cannot be the Superman, let us hope that he will arrive and lift us up, you see. Then man and Superman shall be at one, and all the earth becomes a single life. Great assurance. So,
rather sooner than later.
Sooner or later, now, but she has to take many human births. For all that to happen, through your many human births, he has already said that, you see. Through your many human births. She might have already taken birth and she is already doing her work. We are not aware of it.